Give me a little bit more of a harder right turn.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. You're good my side? Just watch that wingtip there.
Watching that wingtip there, we're good.
You're good my side?
Okay.
Cool. And then just watch the tail.
Back
okay.
on the yellow line. Now it's showing wind blow. Now it's showing 3.5 is favorable.
Okay, we'll give it a look once we're ready to go.
Okay.
Because the last meet our Huntsville was about an hour old, so I wouldn't be surprised if it changed.
Okay.
But you can continue. Make sure you're holding 1200.
Okay, before takeoff, parking brakes are set, which is our feet. Seat belts are locked. Shoulder harnesses are check secured. Cabin doors and windows are closed and locked. Flight controls, check for free and correct. Back, left, right. Roll this down just a tad. Where are you? Okay, flight controls are free and correct. Instruments are set. 64404032. Change. On 6. Turns are checked.
Everything I'm showing is favoring 17, so your discretion.
Okay. Fuel is good. Mixture is rich. Fuel selector valve is on both. Elevator trim is set for takeoff still. And let's check the mags. So we're going to take this up to 1800. And ball drop. Back to both. And drop. Back to both. And idle. Engine still runs. Vacuum is in up. Back to 1200. Friction. Let's turn our strobes on. Where are we? Okay, interior panel. We're good here. Throttle's 1200. Friction engine lock is good. Nav lights are good. Flaps are up. Radios.
Give me a reminder, how much fuel do we have?
We have 19 usable.
Okay.
So
total?
22.
Okay. And what was the makeup between each side? Do you remember?
12 and 10.
Okay. Just because I want to keep monitoring because you know the fuel imbalance when it...
Yes.
So, thank you.
Okay.
You're good.
Redstone traffic, Skyhawk 9791 Foxtrot is taking 17 for closed pattern, Redstone.
And there's no one else out, but just when we do it, just say that we're doing full stop taxi backs.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're reporting like final and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, just so that rather than saying touch and go, technically we're doing full stop taxi backs, so.
Gotcha.
Cool, cool. Airplane, I'm just a passenger, not really, but...
Alrighty.
Was the last time that we did night flying night cross country? This was like in the summertime or fall time?
I did mine probably a year ago.
Okay.
It was,
So it's been a while since we've done night flying like this.
yes.
Okay. Just remember, right? Big thing is you're going to lose a lot of depth perception, right?
Yes.
So telling distance is going to be a lot harder, which is fine. The other thing that you're going to be hard to tell is how high you actually are, right?
Okay.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to use those runway lights as your runway surface.
Okay.
Because that's all you see at night, right?
Yes.
Once you see the runway itself, that's when you need to start switching mentally to using the runway as your height gauge. Because those lights are about 6 inches tall, so if you time it off the lights, you're going to hit hard because you're flaring too high.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then for night flying, should you be using primarily your peripheral or your center eye for...
Your peripheral.
Yep. And I'm sure you know rods, cones, how they're laid out. Right. But yeah, the biggest thing is that depth perception is a lot harder to tell distance, and then as we come into land, have to remember that mentalness of those lights are higher than they are for the runway that you want to land on. Easiest thing is just leave a little bit of power and just walk it down. Just don't let the plane land, and then you'll have a nice soft, okay?
Gotcha.
And then once we land, just power idle, let the plane slow down, and then we'll back taxi.
Okay.
And worst case, somebody else is in the pattern, we'll exit out. I don't think that's going to be the case, so we'll be fine. But
okay.
I guess nobody's crazy enough to fly in the winter like me. Or you. But no, I think it's good. You know, it's been a while since you've done a night.
Yes.
Might as well get it knocked out when it's easy to do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, 99% of all privates for some reason keep scheduling night flights with me during the summer, which is a pain in my ass. But I'm not upset about that. Not at all.
Well, then you're flying like at 9 o'clock at night.
I know, and that's what I was doing. Like, you usually schedule me in the morning, but I will be here, you know, for you, like almost 7.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm still here. I'm like, God dang. And somehow, during all that, only, I think, once, I got close to breaching the instructor 8-hour limit.
Oh, you have a limit on how many hours you can instruct?
Instructors are limited to 8 hours of flight time.
Oh, okay.
If you're flying 8 hours a day, that's like, you see how fun it is just flying one flight a day.
Uh-huh.
Imagine doing, 8 hours of it, so.
Well, I can imagine the repetition will get tedious.
Yeah. Cross country is fine. I can easily do, like, I've done 12-hour long, even technically 17-hour, but that was with another pilot and we were switching off.
Okay.
But cross country is always easy. It's just the fatigue of just sitting there not seeing much going on.
Okay, we are at the end.
Yep. So I haven't heard anybody.
I don't see anybody coming in. I don't see anybody in the pattern.
Yep. If not, this is going to get real awkward real fast.
Okay, I have 17 in front of me. I have 17 here. I have 17 there. I'm going to put this down here. And we're going to go heels to the floor. And slowly advance the throttle.
Make sure you make the announcement. Again. Right, so Jazz Guard 9791 Foxtrot taking off on the 17, left close traffic, full stop taxi back, no traffic.
Okay, and 55, we are going to rotate. And climb out at 75.
If you ever need some cabin heat, just let me know and I'll pull it open.
Okay.
That improved performance?
Yes. Redstone traffic, Skyhawk 9791 Foxtrot, left crosswind for 17, full stop, Redstone. Just going around here.
What's that altitude? And then what's that distance? See how close we are?
Yeah.
You gotta kick us out a little bit more.
Yep.
Always shoot to fall between the rocket and the ride out road.
Yeah. Feels like I got the wind pushing me into the...
Yep. 12 knot 110. So still favoring 17 by left crosswind.
Yes. But I'm crabbing awful hard. Okay, I'm going to extend my downwind just a bit so I can get set up a little bit better.
First of Travis Scout 9791 Foxtrot is standing left downwind runway 17, full stop, taxi back, rest on traffic.
Okay, we good. I think that should be enough. Redstone traffic, Skyhawk 9791 Foxtrot, left base 417, full stop, Redstone. Okay, why? Okay.
Make sure you start that descent.
And that first notch of flaps. Below 110.
It's coming from behind us, so we're going to have that fast base, right?
Yes. Redstone traffic, Skyhawk 9791 Foxtrot is turning final for 17, full stop, Redstone.
Take that power out, see how you're high?
Yeah, I'm way fast for right here. Where I need to be. I'll add another notch of flaps. Put the nose down. Okay, we are a little high. No, we got... I see 2 white and 1 red.
Yep.
Okay.
I think one of the poppy lights is out. We just don't know which one.
500.
I'll add that last notch of flaps.
Just control that crosswind. See how you're drifting to the right?
Yep.
So just get that aileron down, right rudder. Because you see how you're kind of angled out to the left? There you go. A little bit more. But you see how that right rudder helps? And then you see how it will treat red and that power back. Because remember, when you go to that crosswind, you're going to be you're not going to be as clean, so you're going to dip a lot more, right?
Yes.
Then control that rudder. There we go. You see, a little bit more rudder, a little bit more aileron. Then, yeah. And, yeah. Good. As It's okay if you come in a little bit fast. This has been a while. It's okay if you float for a bit. That's fine. Because, you know, we're doing a full stop anyway. So you don't have to land or hit the point. Add a little bit of power. Because you see how we're descending a little bit towards those greens?
Okay.
Okay, you see the runway now?
Yes.
Okay, so continue.
I'll continue. Okay.
Just keep it going nice and easy. Nice and easy. There you go. Keep that crosswind in though. Stop bringing that nose out. Start taking that power out. Dip that left wing. Bring that nose up. Bring that nose up. Take out that power. Take out that power. Just don't let the plane land. Don't let the plane land. Don't let the plane land. A little bit left. There you go. There you go. Power idle. Rudder control. Rudder control. Small movements. Small movements. Go full aerodynamic braking force. Aerodynamic force. Never braking. Aerodynamic force. Then you can start that slow. Once we get to about walking pace, then you can start that aerodynamic. Good? How did that feel?
Different.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Flaps up. And then you can just turn us around. I'll do the radio calls just so that you can focus on the line.
Okay. Okay.
Restaurant traffic, Skyhawk 97901 Foxtrot, back taxi, runway 17, left close traffic, full stop, taxi back, Redstone traffic. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit sloppy at the beginning, but we kind of tuned it in, right?
No, okay.
So overall good. Just gotta remember, just gotta keep dancing, right? Don't stiffen up, especially on the crosswind. Stiffening up, you're gonna let yourself drift too much. You gotta be flexible with both the aileron and the rudder, right?
Okay.
With the crosswind correction, do you remember what the rudder does? Why do we need to add some right rudder?
Why do you need to add right rudder?
Yeah, on the crosswind landing with the slip.
Because when you the wing that you're dropping to, the plane's going to want to turn to that area, so you're counteracting the turn.
Yep. So there's two. That one, and then the other one is you're keeping the longitudinal axis of the plane lined up to the runway.
Okay.
So from our perspective, it's going to be looking like we're dipping a wing, which is fine. That's what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the rudders are controlling that angle in terms of how much we have to adjust, right? But it's also keeping us lined up to that runway.
Okay.
That's why it's important, and it's not always a consistent thing. Have to dance on it. So being loose on those rudders will help kind of keep that centered. And then also on the aileron, because remember, especially these winds, they could be gusting. They're not always sustained, right?
Yes.
So you just gotta watch. And the easiest way to do is just look at. So the easiest thing to do is just that light that's flashing up ahead is to use that as your guide. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time.
See that light that's beyond the runway threshold?
Yes.
That one is a lineup. You can use that as your guide because you can't see the white marks, obviously.
Gotcha.
Now, obviously, the other caveat is like during other airfields, they don't have that light.
Okay.
So the only other way you can tell is by the runway lights and just aiming for the middle, right?
Yeah.
But be mindful, you can also fall into the black hole effect, right? So, overall, good for Force 1 in a while. We'll do 2 more at least.
Okay.
And if you want to do more, I'm not going to complain, but it is late.
Yeah, I haven't eaten. I'm hungry, so.
So we'll at least do 2 more.
And I have to cook. Okay.
And give it a little bit more just so that we line up properly. Never want to start out, angled, right? Okay, there you go. Remember, we have a crosswind, so get that left aileron in. That's going to help from that sudden dip that we picked up when we took off.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Restaurant traffic, Sky 97901 Foxtrot, taking off runway 17, left close traffic, full stop, taxi back, restaurant traffic. Okay. There you go, keep that right rudder in. Now as you speed up, what should we do with our ailerons?
Pull it out.
Yep, so you start pulling it down, there you go, and you try to time it right as rotate. Bring that nose up, and then just let that plane nose drift into the wind. You may have to get a little bit of rudder to get that started, but you just want to let that nose drift into the wind because now we're just going to fly that runway 17 heading, right?
Yeah.
And you can see our diamond magenta was lined up, right? There's some traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, line up with runway 17, left close traffic, full stop, taxi back. There's some traffic.
I'll extend my upwind.
Okay.
Because of our improved performance, we were getting off.
Yep. About 1,000 feet a minute, right?
Yeah.
Remember during the summer where we will be amazed if we can establish that, right? So remember we're at 17 now. Get that nose down, power roll to 21, and then you can start your turn now.
Okay, let's start our turn.
Yep. And remember, square out your tone. That's going to help you from getting too close.
Okay.
Rest on traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, turning left, crosswind, runway 17, full stop, taxi back, rest on traffic. So aiming for that 070 heading, little bit more. 080, yep, right here, boom, good, and then you're aiming between Ride Out Road and that town, and the town 5.
Let's turn.
Okay. Rest on traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, turning left, downwind, runway 17, full stop, taxi back, rest on traffic. So right now we got about 140 at 100 at 14, and you can see that diamond magenta, right?
Yeah.
So you just gotta think about, I want to maintain, technically it's a 350, but I got a little bit more wind, right? So just gotta put that diamond magenta on what you want, or adjust so you're not drifting towards it, right?
Okay.
But the rule of thumb of keeping that strut about halfway up still applies.
Okay.
And you just gotta make sure you're drawing that imaginary. Remember, all the principles remain the same. Your cueing is just slightly different because now we're relying on the lights a lot more than the actual pavement.
Okay. There we go.
So remember, the caveat when you do 7, it gives you a misinterpretation because the lights are brighter, right?
Yeah.
So once you get on final, I always suggest dimming it down to either a 5 or a 3, so it makes it easier to do a good landing.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't do that, I'll show you. I'll do it so that you can see the difference.
Okay.
So just focus on another good landing, okay?
Okay.
Are you going to extend your downwind again?
No, we can turn here.
Well, make sure you're descending before you do that turn.
Okay. Yeah. Power.
Power.
Power comes back to idle. That's
Yep.
idle.
1500.
There we go. Now we can add
Under 110.
our first match of flaps.
Yep. Remember, and when you're descending, it becomes power pitch trim, or compared to your takeoff, which is pitch power trim. First on taxi, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, turning left, base runway 17, full stop, taxi back, rest on traffic. And watch your speed. Yep. There you go. Because you can use that slowdown period to get you to 85 and hill. You got it, you're around 75, and it's okay to come in a little bit faster because we got that stronger crosswind, right? It's not too strong, but... So you're adding that power, but you gotta keep that nose down for that speed, right? You don't want to get too slow. And you can crab into the runway because you see how we're kind of drifting to the right?
Yeah.
Because of that crosswind. So we'll crab a little bit more to the left so that you don't drift too far.
Okay.
And then keep that nose down because you see your speed. Rest on traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, turning final, runway 17, full stop, taxi back. Rest on traffic. Okay.
Having a hard time judging the wind.
Yep, you just got... Judging wind is always based over time, right?
500.
You just gotta set it, see what happens, and then adjust. That's why it's a dynamic event going on.
Okay.
Okay, yep, so... But you see how you're getting a little bit low there? Because we have tree red.
Yes.
So at just a hair of power, maybe 100 RPM, that will arrest your descent, right?
Yes.
But then you can still pitch for that 65. Now, let me ask you, can you see the actual runway? Not the lights, the actual runway.
No.
you think you'll be able to see the actual runway easier now or not?
Probably easier.
Yep. So that's what I do. Whenever I come in on final, I dim those lights because you can see it's harder to tell where the runway would be with those bright lights, right?
Yes.
Now remember, we're here, get that left aileron first, then right rudder. Pull that power back. Okay. And then just keep playing with that pitch. Just keep playing with it. There you go. And remember, you gotta be dynamic on that rudder and aileron control, right? See how you can see the runway now?
Yeah.
And you see, it's a little bit easier, right?
Yeah.
Because all the lights are dimmed. Now keep that nose coming down. Just keep that nose coming down. There you go. There you go. Good, good. And you want to land with that left wheel force for this left crosswind, right?
Yeah.
But you got to dance on it. You got to dance on it. Okay, keep that power slowly coming out now. See how you can make out the runway a lot easier? That's good. Bring it up. Don't let the plane land. There you go. And then as we slow down, what should we do? Roll into that wind, right? Get that aileron because it's going to keep that wing down. And then just dance on those pedals to maintain that center line. There we go. Much better.
Jeez, it's like doing one-arm chin-ups.
Yeah. That's what a crosswind landing is like.
No, I mean, the aerodynamic braking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what aerodynamic braking does.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Do you see how bright it is?
Yes.
And you see how you lose, because the thing about light, right, is it makes it hard to tell where the center is, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
The center.
Like where the actual light bulb is.
Yes, because of the strobing. That's strobing.
Yep.
Is it the starlight effect?
Exactly. And the reason we don't like it so bright is because if we look at it, the light will move too much. It's kind of a focal thing that our eye does.
Okay.
And it's not good for your eyes. So you see how, like, you can kind of make out the runway, right?
Yes.
Look how much more of the runway we can see now that I dimmed it down.
Okay.
That's why when you tone that final, like on final, you can also raise the flaps. Retro traffic, Scout 9791 Foxtrot, back taxi runway 17 for full stop, taxi back, touch and goes. Oh, retro traffic. But you see how we can see more of the runway now?
Yes.
On this dim setting?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're coming in on that final, you always want to get to that number 3. Because by the time you get final, you should be able to see the runway. Like, you should see the lights, right? It shouldn't be too hard. If you don't see it, you got another problem. Right? You're like, well, okay, well, we're lining up here now. The only time that's not possible, really, is when a towered field.
Okay.
Because they always keep it strong, so aircraft can find where they are.
Okay.
So sometimes you can request them to dim the lights, or a lot of times you just get used to that high power. But the good thing about that is you have a further distance because of the larger runways.
Okay.
So a lot of times you don't get that same effect. But that tosses into a lot of other visual stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, fuel good.
Because you can really tell the difference up close between 3 and 7, right?
Yes.
And you can see how we lose a lot of that, because of that effect, we lose a lot of that visibility of the actual runway. Yeah, last one?
Last one.
Last one. When you're ready.
Okay, I've got 17, 17, 17. We're ready to go.
Okay. Rest on traffic, Scout 9791 Foxtrot, taking off runway 17. Left close traffic, full stop. Rest on traffic.
Airspeed is aligned. Temperatures are degree. Number 55. 55, we will rotate.
Keep. Yep. See how that wing's leaning to the right? You have to still keep a little bit of aileron control in as you enter that crack.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just don't rely on the rudder to get you straight because the wind's still hitting you. So you gotta have a little bit, but not too much. And then once you get established, then you can take it out.
Okay.
As I say, it's a dynamic thing. Rest on traffic, got 971 Foxtrot, slowing up in runway 17, full stop, rest on traffic. Make sure you square it out, right?
Yes.
Rest on traffic, got 9791 Foxtrot, turning left crosswind, runway 17, full stop, rest on traffic. Watch that altitude. Remember, you got improved performance, right?
Yes.
And we should go bust. If you're used to climbing at 500 feet per minute, but now you're at 1,000, your gas start leveling out sooner than what you're used to. And another trick that you can do is you don't have to climb out of VY, scale speed.
Okay.
Because VY is best climb, right?
Yes.
Well, we'll get an improved climb because it's a cold night day, or it's a cold night. Then that usually means we don't have to hit VY, we can go at a faster speed and have a slower ascent because we established that we're going to get above the object, right?
Okay.
Or at least mimic what it would be like on a normal, non-cold day. That's kind of the more advanced, like, what should I be using versus me. Typically, I always just stick to VY because I'm like, hey, it's the safest speed I know and it means less stinky. But my instructor taught me is like, hey, if you need to go a distance, you can just climb at a higher speed at a slower rate because that's what you need for what you need to do, right?
Okay.
So remember, it's always dynamic. That's why I never like to speak in assortiveness. Rest on traffic, got 9791 Foxtrot, left downwind, runway 17, full stop, rest on traffic. Okay. Remember, but power, always power for the descent, right?
Yes.
Then you pitch that nose up, then you get that full notch of flaps. Now, so you always want to do that in conjoint because you can see how quickly you can slow down.
Yes.
But then you want to push down to catch the A5. Really, you only pitch the nose up if you need to get under that flap extension speed.
Okay. Okay, here we are at 45.
Great. Okay. Always add your second notch on the base, but...
Oh, okay. Alright. Turn it base.
Rest on traffic, got 9791 Foxtrot, turning left base, runway 17, full stop, rest on traffic. The reason is, if we were to lose an engine and you added that second notch, could we reach the runway?
No, probably.
Most likely not, right? Remember, always add flaps only when you think you can make the runway with those flaps.
Okay.
We teach downwind base and final because that's a good reference, right?
Uh-huh.
But really, as a really good pilot, it should be like, hey, if I add these flaps, can I actually make the runway with it? What do you think, high, low, or good?
Low.
So add some power. So I lowered it down to 5.
Okay, let's turn final. Yeah, I need to practice this a lot more.
Rest of test, got 9791 Foxtrot. Turning final, runway 17, full stop, rest on traffic. See how you're a little bit low? Add that power. But pitch that, control that nose though. The plane's gonna want to climb, so you want to control that because, you know, what are we trying to shoot for this? Around 65, right?
Yes.
We have a little bit of a crosswind, so we can have a little bit of, you know, wiggle room, right?
Okay.
But we want to pitch that nose up to slow us down. What will that plane want to do? It wants to climb, so power back, take out that 100 RPM you just added. So take out more RPM, let the plane drop. We're going to slow down, but that's fine, right? We're changing that speed and altitude, right?
Yes.
And there's a reason why I left it on 7, but you'll see. So we're a little bit high, right? Take out more power. But then when we take out more power, we don't want to push the nose down because we're going to gain more speed, right?
Yeah.
And the reason we're all over the place is because you're not doing that crosswind yet, right? So get that crosswind in. There's always the closer, about 1 mile is when you want, which is roughly about where we are. But take that power out because you see how we're high, right? See how hard it is to judge? The reason I leave it on 7 is because you see how harder it is to judge everything when it's 7 and really bright?
Yes.
Because we can, what? Right about now, take out more power? Because what? Right about now, we could see the runway at the earlier settings, right?
Yes.
But now we're starting to see that runway, right? Keep that power, keep a little bit more right, Rado. Okay, look. Just keep, there we go. Now we start our transition. And just don't let the plane land. Just keep dancing on it. Just keep dancing on it. Keep dancing on it. Keep dancing on it. Keep dancing on it. There you go. Full aerodynamic, power back. And you don't have to go full aerodynamic if we're going to go to the end.
Okay.
But does that make sense though?
Yes.
Now the reason I kept it on 7, you're going to have somebody that wants to land here that's going to keep it on 7 for you because they can't find it.
Okay.
And if you keep switching it down, they're going to keep raising it back up. So it's always good to kind of practice those 3 different settings.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because you see how harder it is to tell your altitude with all these lights, right?
Yes.
But as soon as I dim it down to the tree, hey, we look like we got a lot more runway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is one of those things, ideally, you can control it the whole time by yourself. If you go to Shelbyville, tell me how that goes, because that ain't gonna happen. It will always be full Blair 7. So what the best thing you can do is come in a little bit higher, a little bit faster, and then just walk your way, but don't eat up the entire runway.
Gotcha.
That's the simplest thing that I can say on the night stuff. Any questions?
No.
Yep.
Well.
And remember, another thing is, we're getting that improved performance, right? On the climb out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that also means for the landing?
Say again.
We're getting improved performance on the climb out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we can climb so fast.
Yes.
What do you think is happening on the landing? You think we can descend faster or harder?
It's harder to descend.
Yeah, because we just get the same things helping us climb. What does that mean? That 1500 RPM that we always use may not be the 1500 for this day. We may have to go at a slower RPM because we have to account for that, right?
Yes.
And how do you know what's what? I don't know. You just gotta figure it out. You just gotta. It really is that case. It's, hey, 1500. I'm saying hi the entire time. Well, okay, let's say it's 1400.
Gotcha.
You see, that's the thing about the numbers that you're always first taught are like the baby
day.
Yeah. Well, it's ideal conditions, right?
Okay.
The number or the numbers and things that we tell you when you first start is like the alphabet, right? We're teaching you A, B, C, and D, right? Like
Okay.
this is where you start.
Okay.
But then, as you know, as soon as you start starting in words and all these other rules and trying to speak in English, now it becomes a lot more complicated, right?
Yes.
So that's the point. That's the point of these night landings, is that you get that experience. But more importantly, you gotta be dynamic. You gotta be prepared for like, hey, you know, this thing that Jason's telling me I should hold, this ain't working. Okay, Jason, screw you. I'm going to do what actually he's getting me to do what I need to do, right?
Okay.
You know, it's just a good starting point of ideal standard day conditions. We know this works at this set, right?
Yes.
And just remember, always add flaps only when you know you can make the runway with them, because a lot of times guys, they do that, you know, because they're used to that, right? But if something goes wrong, you gotta take these flaps with you, because if you raise the flaps, what do?
You lose.
You're gonna lose that lift, so you're still gonna be in trouble, right?
But
So,
if you, okay, but if you lose the lift, oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I answered that in my head.
yep. Because it's not just that. Obviously, you haven't had an emergency. Knock on wood, that won't happen. Your body, and you know this, things happen so much different when it becomes actual emergency situation. Okay, we're clear. Rest on traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, clear runway 17 at Alpha, rest on traffic. And just make sure you always bring it back to 1200. As soon as you stop 1200, keeps the engine running nice, doesn't get him chasing us for breaking something.
Okay.
And I'd rather not have that.
Okay. Flaps up, transponders 12, we did the call, strobe lights can come off. Wing flaps are up.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back and put some gas in.
Okay. Rest on traffic, Sky 9791 Foxtrot, taxi to flying activity via Alpha, rest on traffic. Who is dumb enough to show up here for a night flight? Oh, wait a minute. But yeah, here's a good thing. You don't have to wait this long to do night flights now.
Yeah.
If you do, as we discussed, if you do that 4 o'clock Monday, we can do like probably a good, let's call it 45 minutes after all the pre-flight maneuvers. And then by the time we get back here, it's already night. So it's a little bit more efficient.
Okay.
So
that'll come back. This comes out. And
that goes off. These come off. Comes out, goes here, and that goes off. Correct?
And something that you really don't see, but when I was taught, a lot of these lights that you see here, I was always taught just dim them down, so that when somebody starts up in the morning, they're not wasting the lights.
Oh, okay.
Not really, doesn't really matter for these aircraft, but like a lot of times in my old flights, like somebody will leave like the reading light on,
Okay.
and then if you don't, obviously if you keep it running, you turn on the battery, you